is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Got your hair cut.
Hi, I'm Bran, and I love whatever the heck.
Butterfly movies.
Butterfly movies, sure.
Hey, it's Panda, and I like butterfly movies.
I'm Dan. I despise butterfly movies on any network, and this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Can I promise you something?
What?
This is going to be the most aggressive movie or aggressive podcast about butterfly movies.
So aggressive.
Yeah,
It's gonna
I don't
be
know how it couldn't be. Just by the intro, I think we've already made it the most aggressive, right?
Oh, you just buckle up.
Buckle up.
Buckle up. Guys, happy Tuesday to you. Happy March Madness week to those who celebrate.
Tip of the cap to March Madness.
Including us.
Yeah.
Hats off to madness. It's going to be a real hoop time.
Ooh, okay. Hoop. I don't know what you're doing, but this is not
Hoop
hoop.
it up. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. Hoop it up. Go 1, 2, 3.
It's time for Panda Teaches Basketball.
All right, first of all, you're going to take that big orange ball right there. You're going to go ahead and line it up,
Right.
laces out, and you're going to shoot it straight up.
Wait, your
Laces
ball's
out?
laces?
What's that
What do
mean?
you mean?
You're going to go ahead and the little
My
black
ball
spot.
does not
Mine
have
doesn't
laces.
have any laces. Did I tie it wrong?
What?
You just don't even worry about it. Go ahead and
Laces
just
in and
put
shoot.
it up. Shoot it up.
There it is.
All right. That's good. And how can people buy that whole series?
You can buy Panda Teaches Basketball Volume 1 at your local FYE.
Oh, wow.
Man,
You got in.
Exclusive deal
Man.
with FYE.
Congratulations.
Sam Goody, not this.
No,
not good enough
not
here.
That good. Not those guys.
We're working on Volume 5.
Is there 2 through 4?
No, we kind of skipped those because I don't know those yet. But Volume 5 is straight dunks.
Straight
dunks.
We have a clip.
Yep. All right, so here's the deal. You're going to lace them up, and then you're going to want to go big air and then down with jams.
Wait, you have laces?
Did I tie mine wrong?
Yeah, you sure did. That's a double knot. That's a double Windsor.
It's a full Windsor. I needed a half.
That's good, man.
Yeah,
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Who are those guys you're doing that with? Why didn't we get an invite?
Yeah, we didn't get an invite.
No, that was Lubs and Terry.
Lubs and Terry. All right. Well, anyway, enough of that.
Are we sure?
Who can tell? But BrambleJamPlus.com, today we released our March Madness picks, so it's not too late to get on that. And by too late, it literally just came out, so go listen to that. And
we got a pool on the Facebook group.
We got a pool on the Facebook group, so lots
This
of
is
good
what
things
brings
coming.
it in.
That's
This is
exactly
what
right.
real,
Every
man.
year, March is our biggest month.
That's right.
For
Big
Brambleton
time.
Plus subscribers, because the same people that watch Hallmark butterfly movies also happen to love college
That's
basketball.
right. Yep. So both ends.
To both. Yeah, that's exactly right. Guys, I was watching some college basketball over the week, and I was watching some of the conference tournaments,
conference
if you will.
tourneys, yeah.
I was watching the Pac-10.
Well, I love
Pac-12?
Pac-10.
Pac-12.
Yeah.
Well, they lost 2 this year. I don't know if you heard.
Well, they used to be Pac-10 and they gained. Just go.
I was watching old school.
You were watching ESPN Classic.
ESPN Classic.
Yeah, okay.
And the game was neck and neck. Last second shot, boom, and then they made it.
Yeah.
Guy went to go out.
Just spit it out.
Guy went to go do a little post game conversation and said, "What was the inspiration behind that play?" Blah blah blah. And then finally they asked how your weekend was.
Oh, wow. No way. What do you say?
He said it was fantastic. I won this game.
Good.
What year was that?
That was 93.
93. I was 10. No, I was 9. Not 10 yet because it was March, right? So I bet my weekend was solid. I had just moved to Greenville like the month before.
Wow.
Just a lot going on at that time.
What about you? You were 40?
45?
Yeah, that's when I...
Dude, that's right when, there's a little dip in the economy after HW. Clinton's about to take over. Were your stocks and bonds doing okay?
Not so great.
Okay.
It was a really sad weekend. We took the wife and kids out for French fries at McDonald's.
Oh, wow.
And I stood in line for the ice cream cone at the very end, get it
The
ready.
ice cream machine was
You
working.
had to stand in a separate line for the ice cream?
Well,
thing?
at the McDonald's back in the 90s, there used to be a separate area where you could go climb the little steps up and get an ice cream.
Climb the little steps
I
up.
worked at McDonald's in the 90s, and I don't know what the fire you're talking about.
No.
Climb
There was
the
an ice
little
cream, There was an
steps.
ice cream station and you would go up these little steps up to the counter for the little ones.
What do you mean these little steps?
There were steps.
Why?
Little steps, for kids to go directly up, and you stood on top of these stairs, and they would go and they
What
would
are
hand
you
you an
holding
ice
right
cream,
now?
ice cream cone.
You handed the cone back
No.
over?
They would hand you the cone, and
So you're the
but
kid
you would hand
here.
it to them. You would hand and tip it over so that they could put sprinkles on top of it.
What?
This is wild.
This is how COVID started.
That's right.
It was way back early
It was
90s.
an ice cream stand with Panda.
McDonald's.
Yeah, I'll Google it.
No, I believe
No,
you.
I don't believe it. I would love to see the little
Okay, I'm
stairs you're
looking
talking
here.
about. Guys, we're talking about a movie that's in no man's land. It is not attached to a season. It's an in-betweener. We got
not attached to a movie.
We got a tweener alert. Tweener alert.
Tweener alert.
Feeling Butterflies is the movie. Real life couple, Kevin McGeary and the girl. McGeary? Scotty McQuarrie? Yeah.
I'm on minute. They're a real life couple.
The real life couple.
Get out of town.
I won't.
I mean, you could. That chemistry.
It was fire.
Yeah.
Fire. It originally aired on March 12th, 2022, and it went a little something like this. Emily is big into butterflies. She has a butterfly business where she provides butterflies for big events like weddings and birthdays. She is going to a birthday party and she meets a hunky dad named Garrett, and she's immediately impressed with his knowledge of butterfly diets. There's a rival butterfly business, saw him live, owned by Mandy, and she's undercutting her prices, but she's also mixing in with moths to just kind of make it look like there's more butterflies than there are. What a monster. Her dad really wants her to get married. Garrett and his daughter come to learn more about butterflies and maybe more about her. The girl tells Emily that her dad thinks she's pretty. And he's like, don't do that. Emily gets a call from a rich girl. If I was a rich girl. And she wants Emily to release at least 500 butterflies at her wedding. At least. But it turns out that Mandy can get the job too, that monster. She'll probably work in moths. Whoever can get the most butterflies wins. Those are the rules of the game, everybody. Apparently, Garrett is independently wealthy. His dad wants him to move to New York to take over the family business. He's not thrilled about that. He says he thinks that things in his life are a little bit complicated, and then he gets a call from a woman, so he is clearly in love with someone. But that doesn't stop her from hanging out more and with Garrett, and she even comes over for dinner. But then this woman, Jill, unexpectedly shows up, kisses him on the cheek. What is she doing? So Emily leaves. Garrett tries to explain, and she's like, it's none of my business. I'm outsy. He's good at working with his hands, though, and so he agrees to help her with some work on an expansion project that she's working on for her butterfly business. More butterflies, more problems. You know what I mean?
Said it, friend.
That night, she basically is like, listen, I feel like there's a thing between us, so I just need to know what the deal is with Jill. He says, well, I tried to explain the other night, but I'll do it now instead. Actually, she is my ex-girlfriend, and there is a good chance we will get back together. So, not as complicated as it seems. She's a big part of my daughter's life. I just don't know what to do. And I think Jill wants us to give it another try. I don't know. But I do like you, so there's that. Jill does the hard sell on Garrett. And is also like, you going to New York? What about this school thing that I can get, or I can help you get in, whatever. Naturally, the next day, he rolls in the mud with Emily. What's going to happen? Who's he going to pick? What about the butterflies? Glad you asked. The rich girl shows up at Emily's house and says that her rival her personal rival in life released 1,500 butterflies at an event last week. 1,500, guys.
Whoa.
Can you believe that? They
unbelievable.
say it's a lot, and so I'll take their word for it.
It has to be.
If you can tell me right now that you can do 1,501, the job is yours. And I'll make sure that you get on the cover of Weddings Weekly. So she says yes. So the hunt is on. She goes and she gets some caterpillars from her caterpillar dealer, slides them a 20, says don't tell anybody, the whole thing. But he does let her know there is a disease going around. Kevin, you're such a disease.
We did it again.
And so she's like, I'll make sure that...
It's a little too breathy.
No, it wasn't. It was perfect. You're perfect.
Thank you. Because we lost it all.
Nothing lasts forever. I'm sorry, I can't be perfect.
And
Now it's just too late.
And we can't
Go back. I'm sorry, I can't be perfect.
Simple plan, everybody.
I was addicted to that song.
Yep.
Addicted.
Addicted to you?
Yeah. Where was I? Kevin, disease. There's a caterpillar disease going on that can kill caterpillars. Really inopportune time for that to be happening. But she says we got this under control. Garrett is still trying to figure out the whole New York situation. And they find out one day that all the caterpillars have been infected. Not all of them, but half. So they are in quite the sticky wicket. So they need to get 700 caterpillars. We then get a montage of them trying to get caterpillars. That montage lasts a while, and they only got 300. So what are they going to do? She comes up with an idea. I'm going to go talk to Mandy. So she goes to talk to Mandy. Mandy's like, are you kidding me right now? Are you doing this right now? And she says, I don't want to buy them from you. I want you to come in on this project with me. We'll do it together. She says, okay, but we're still going to need another 100 caterpillars. What? They get them. Don't worry, everybody. You know what else they get? They get a little girl into a school in New York, so I guess it's really happening. And Jill seems very excited about that. He's like, I'm moving. There's nothing I can do about that. They're all at a party together the day before, I guess. And he's like, it's time to pack up and leave. Sorry, I sold my car. Everything is happening. We're leaving right now. Car's out front. Like, okay, I guess that's it. Bye-bye. The wedding happens. They release 1,501 butterflies, and the bride makes sure that everyone knows it. They're at the party, at the reception, if you will, and guess who shows back up? It's Garrett, and he's like, do you want to do some butterfly kisses? They're going to stick around. They're going to be together. They kiss, and that, my friends, was Feeling Butterflies.
We did it.
Oh, my goodness.
We did it.
We did it, everybody. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll break this butterfly movie down here on Take the Hallmark. We're back, everybody. We're talking Feeling Butterflies, a rando movie not attached to a season. It is a, where we had last week off. We have next week off. It's an in-betweener movie to get us to spring fever.
Oh, man.
And boy, does
wait.
it. Boy, does it, folks. Let's break this movie down. We have 4 segments to do so. We're going to start with a hot take, and I'm going to start with somebody that I believe at the end of his days, he will be remembered not for his looks, not for his many, 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 many years on this earth, but for his hot takes.
Of course.
Panda, submit your legacy today with this hot take.
I freaking love this movie. I adore this movie. I didn't want it to end. How about that? How about that hot take? I enjoyed the butterfly talk. I enjoyed the premise. I enjoyed them looking for the butterflies. I enjoyed them finding the butterflies. Yes, it's ridiculous. Yes, the premise is absurd. Yes, there's so many stupid things that occur in this movie, and I loved it. It was the steamiest movie involving butterflies I've ever seen, and I liked it. I liked all of it. More butterfly movies, I would be down with it. I want a sequel. How about that? I want more butterfly talk.
How about that? Well, next week we're going to be doing our ranking episode, and so
it's going to be spoiler alert. It's going to be high up on my list, as high as a butterfly flies.
Wait a minute. You've said that every movie this year's terrible. If you loved it, you're going to have it at 1. That's not going to go. There's no way. You're going to have it at 1 overall. It's the best you've seen this year.
Oh boy, yeah. I'll say it. I'm going to say it's the best I've seen this year. Hot enough?
It's hot. It's not good, but it's hot.
I love this.
Got to be honest. I thought when I rolled in this evening that I was going to have the hot take when I said that I love this movie. But apparently I don't love it enough. I can't compete with that. I did love this movie. I had a lot of fun with this movie. I also, weirdly enough, loved the butterfly talk.
Yeah.
Butterfly science. They really went into it. And I was here for that. There were some things I felt like we were looking for caterpillars for a long time. There was a little bit of a section there that I felt we could have done a little something. But as far as butterfly movies takes place in an unknown season of the year, I was here for it. I went in. Maybe I had my shoes and my socks off, but I just rolled up my jeans. I didn't put my swimsuit on. I wasn't expecting to dive into the world of butterflies. But by the end of it, I was naked in the pool of butterfly movies. I loved it.
Yeah. Amen.
I know that was a lot, but if you followed me where I was, you'd understand what I was saying. I loved it. Dan?
You guys are embarrassing. You're embarrassing. You're embarrassing to yourselves, to the podcast, to your families, to everyone that listens and watches. This movie's real bad. It's bad. It's not to the level of some of the movies we've watched, but the only reason it's not is not because of the butterflies. It's because the two leads are giving good performances in an awful movie. There is one person of color in this entire movie, and she's a monster. And
that's not true.
They just
that's not true.
her.
I think
that's
she's
not
great.
true. There's another guy. He's a person of color who sells caterpillars. He is her dealer.
He's her dealer. That's right. I'm sorry, main characters. And I guess her partner kind of a little bit.
Yep.
She's a monster.
Come on now.
The movie is barely held together by some of the worst effects I've ever seen and zero plot and caterpillar hunting. That is what goes on in this movie. It's absurd. It's bad. I like Kevin McGarry. I like the girl. What's her name? She just fixed the phone and When Calls the Heart. That's her, right?
That's her.
Wow.
She's going to be around more?
That explains why this movie's so good.
Those two. The rest of this
And by
movie,
just, you mean next week?
yeah, she in the
future.
seasons, in the future, Back to the Future. In the season 6 premiere, I got so excited.
You're so excited.
I watched.
We
ahead.
haven't even covered the
Finale.
season 5 finale, but
I'm
you
letting
are
know,
ahead.
I can't help myself. It's gonna age well. She fixes it. So I heard. She fixes
So you
the
heard.
phone
Yeah,
book.
right.
Yeah.
On
Those
the
two
forums.
leads, I don't know how they got involved in this movie where everyone else, the performance they're giving is questionable to say the least. The rest of the movie, Randy Thomas, what's happening, Randy? I will say this, he makes his performances stick out. What is he doing in this movie? I just don't know. It's not a dad. I don't know what he's doing in the movie.
The dad's a little tough.
Yeah. Her partner just kind of blinks. Most of them don't act like they all know they're in a movie. That's the best way I can describe it. Like, none of them are giving a performance that we're supposed to believe. They all know that they're in a butterfly movie, and not for the fun of it. It just is stilted and really, really bad. In any other year, this would be bottom of the heap. Like, I just think you guys have watched a half dozen terrible movies.
I
So
think you
watch
went
one-
into this
No,
movie with a
no,
bad attitude.
no.
You did.
No.
You heard
watched-
the title
just
"Feeling
because you
Butterflies"
yell louder
and
doesn't
you
make you right.
No, you went
You
in.
watched a half dozen movies that were awful. You saw one with 2 good leads and were determined, I'm going to say it's great. This movie's bad.
No. Can I
It's
tell you?
bad. It doesn't hold up at all.
Is there ever a
Does
chance
does
in
it
your?
finish
Is there
top
ever a
3
chance
in any
in?
season we watched last year?
Is there ever a chance that maybe Panda and I are right?
Not in this case or in any case?
In any case.
Yes, of course there is, but not
Give
in
me
this
one example.
I don't know. I'm sure there's been opinions where you guys have obviously all these are opinions, but
No.
yes,
What I'm saying is biblical.
it's biblical.
Yes.
All I'm going to say is,
Is it- would this
last I
finish-
heard, Dan found a butterfly and just crushed it.
I did.
He
Yeah,
hates
that's what
butterflies.
happened.
That's actually the
Butterflies.
truth. Dan, he's not going to go on the record, but we will. He hates
I
butterflies.
just on the weekends just kill butterflies.
Yeah.
I just go out with a tennis racket and just have a heyday.
Yeah.
What,
He
are you
walks
kidding
on
me?
trails and squishes caterpillars.
It's
Come
so
on.
sad.
It is. It's tough.
I don't like that about him.
This wouldn't have finished top 3 in the winter movies of last year. In the 5 winter movies, it
I
wouldn't
don't
have
know.
finished
I
top
liked
3.
it. I think it would.
No,
The top 3?
taking a shot.
Sorry, is that what you said?
Yes.
No, it
New
wouldn't-
Year's resolution. There's
No, it
way.
wouldn't. It wouldn't.
No,
fit.
it would not.
Gosh,
but it doesn't
It's a
matter
ba- it's
because
a bad
But that's we're not comparing it to last year's
comparing it to
Winterfest.
this
I'm
year.
just saying-
And this year, it's a treasure.
We are comparing it to this year's.
So we're ranking these movies based just so not if they're good or not, just based upon how they are compared
but
to the
I would
other
say
movies
No,
this
it's
year.
solid.
no, that's not what we're doing.
So what are
but
we
you
doing?
brought up rankings.
What I'm saying is in any other year you'd be like, this movie's not very good. So all of a sudden the
I
movies are bad.
disagree.
So you're like,
I think that this movie's still charming and delightful. Doesn't matter what year. 2017. Yep. 2018. 2019. There's a lot of years. But anyway, 2022. Absolutely.
I think we understand what you're saying. I'm just saying that you're wrong about that. That is, you're jaded by the fact that we've watched a bunch of turd buckets.
You're jaded by your hatred of butterflies.
Once
if you
again,
can't,
that's made up.
Oh.
The turd buckets are not. They're real.
who are you to say what's real and what's not?
We went full Descartes there. Movie's bad. Trust me. Don't watch it.
Trust us. It's 2 against 1.
Okay.
If you
Everyone
want to have a
feels-
smile on your face, why don't you watch it? If you want to keep living in sour sad land, then go ahead and
Exactly
be with
right.
Dan.
Sour Sadland. Let's do this. Let's go to the feels. Let's try to get over this. What just happened?
Yeah.
Panda. Let's just take a
Yeah.
deep breath, you and I, and let's get to the feels. Let's talk about what gave us feels in this movie.
Yeah, so specifically the scene is when they are romping around in the mud. That is a delightful scene and very romantic. But actually, one of the other
Have
things.
you ever mud romped? We don't need to get into
no,
logistics.
I don't.
man.
I don't ever mud romp. I don't like getting dirty.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't even like the feel of mud on my hands. It feels uncomfortable. Plus, it dries them out. It feels
I think
like.
they desperately wanted to have a snowball fight, and they were like, "What's the equivalent in a butterfly movie?"
Yeah, it's a mud.
What
it's a
about
mud boy.
mud?
I'll say I haven't seen a mud romp in a Hallmark.
It was
so-
nice. It was delightful. And then also, I thought the scenery, the wide openness of the scenery, the field and everything, I thought that was really pretty.
The wide openness.
I love the wide openness. It gave me spring feels, and it just brought happiness.
This isn't even a spring movie.
I
either.
know, but boy, it could have been.
It could have been.
It was
It
delightful.
could have been. Why wasn't it?
Yeah.
Don't know. Don't know why.
I don't either because it's literally butterflies in spring. Does seem like it would
Just
check
shove
out.
it up.
Not
Just
a-
shove it
not
right
a
up
spring
against
fever
it.
movie. Couldn't be. Too many bright colors.
All right, guys, today on the agenda, we have whether or not we're going to make Butterfly movie a spring movie.
No.
Why, guys?
What's butterfly? What's springy about butterflies?
All of it.
No.
How about does it have any spring colors in it?
Almost entirely.
No.
I would say it's almost.
Is it airing in March?
Yeah.
No spring movie.
I got an idea. Okay, fine. I got an idea. What if we separate it by a week?
Okay, I like it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So we take a week off after Love, February, then take a week off after this one. It's a sandwich movie.
Like the movies that are not in the seasons typically stand out as good. Like Love and Design is the movie I think of with that.
Yeah.
Boy, how good qualitatively is Love and Design compared to what we've watched this year?
Oh yeah, man, it looks like a masterpiece.
I mean, it feels like a cinematic journey. Like those fall evenings, McKellar
my gosh.
and Walker out there.
But I mean, if you're thinking back on 2018 in general, how good were the fall movies back then? I was like, it's not enough fall. We haven't gotten fall in years. And we got some real bad ones.
We haven't gotten fall in years.
We haven't gotten a lot. Yeah, it's true. We have.
Except for the movies earlier this year.
There is more spring in this non-spring movie than there were in many of the fall movies the last 2 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
It was really bad.
I found the little girl in this movie to be
I liked her,
just adorbs, and I thought anytime she was like diving into the world of butterflies, I thought it worked really well for me. We all have kids, and all of our kids, I can assume, I know mine is very fixated on one thing, really into it, asking all the questions, and it's annoying at times, but it's also just super cute. And so the fact that this girl loves butterflies, her mom loved butterflies, that whole thing worked for me. Dan?
I mean, I got, good, happy feelings when it was over. I get chuckle feels out of some of the effects of them trying to use the butterflies in the film that were tough to watch. Nothing really for me.
He hates butterflies.
I will say I did feel a little bit of redemption for Kevin McGarry, who the Boston accent in The Wedding Veil was tough sledding. And then to see him get to do this, which I think he's good at this, that did make me happy.
It felt like I was watching Tom Hanks,
in
comparison to,
oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. Like I was watching the movie and it was like, man, you know what? He really, just let him do this in a better movie. Don't saddle him with butterflies. Give him something to do.
Again, you say saddle him with butterflies, butterflies can't
carry a movie. Yeah.
See, this is what I'm saying. You hate butterflies.
No, I was you're saying they can carry a movie, and I said it like they could.
100% they can. You say it like it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I just said it.
I would suggest to you that butterflies have carried many movies. I Am Legend.
Yep.
They do not carry I Am
No, they carry I Am Legend.
Can you
what about
imagine
the butterfly effect?
Carry it.
Can you imagine I Am Legend without the butterfly?
No, I can't.
Then that's carried.
Really? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Interesting.
100%.
Yeah. Because how do you get from point A to point B? If you can't get there.
But you just said, can I imagine it without it?
Right.
That's any movie. That's a really weird
imagine a different animal. What if it was a turtle?
Imagine dragons.
Wouldn't work.
Imagine dragons.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back here on Deck the Hallway. Waking up, butterflies all around me on my thighs. Don't ask me why. All right, guys.
On your thighs. That's weird.
It could have gone eyes.
Could have.
Yes.
That would have been
That would
better.
have been the normal play.
I'm waking up. The butterflies, they're on my heart and they're on my eyes.
You want a third take, buddy?
It's a tough voice. No, we don't need to. We don't need to. Waking up to butterflies, they're on my heart and they're on my eyes.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah, I like that.
That was great.
You guys get it?
That was really good.
Okay, let's get to the weight. What? Panda, what you got for the weights?
I will say that this movie, despite the fact that it's great, does have a few. First of all, I have a question about the butterflies being fake. She says, I bet half of her butterflies were fake.
Yeah, they're moths. Not like puppets. They're like some other creature that looks like a butterfly.
If there's
a bunch of butterflies fluttering away,
who's gonna notice?
Who's really counting if there are 500 or 502 or? So 400?
She meant just stuffing them with moths.
Yeah, she's stuffing the box.
Stuffing the bottle box.
At one point, they say 500 butterflies has never been done before, ever.
And then later in the movie, they say 1,500.
Then they do 1,500.
Yeah.
And I just have a hard time believing that there's never been a time where people have
like
done
there's not enough here for a movie.
Well,
Brand's over there yeah, there isn't.
I am perplexed why people are going out of their way to do as much work as they are doing for this lady with no contract in place. They are building an entire new shelter.
Yeah.
They are having to spend I'm assuming a ridiculous amount of money for a rush order of caterpillars and butterflies. And they're doing all that with the lady being able to change her mind the day before. That's just bad. That's bad,
That's not
right?
good. Yeah. It's bad.
My final thing is they're having trouble finding caterpillars. There's a caterpillar shortage, but the kids have no trouble going out and finding 100 caterpillars in the wild.
Well, they were those plants there. It's a stretch. I mean, like, it is a stretch. But they were like, hey, that plant that their caterpillars are on are by the school, and the school's clearly by a wide open freaking field. Take them out with nets. It'll be fun. You need nets for caterpillars these days? Hey, man, have that down.
I don't even
They sit
know.
with butterfly nets to catch caterpillars. Why did they do that?
Yeah, but
All right, kids, go catch caterpillars. Here are your nets. Duh.
well, maybe it's easier to catch them with a net.
I didn't even have that written down. And one of my wait what's is just this movie is terrible. I'm serious. It just says this movie is terrible.
It does.
I don't know why I
can
wrote
vouch
that
for
down.
Yeah, no, he does say that.
At what point did that happen to you?
I don't know. It's somewhere in between the girlfriend calling on the phone for the second time and him talking about not wanting to be a big time business boy. Somewhere in between those two things.
Last wait, what I have is she just leaves the little girl and for the show and tell. She sits there and sets up her own show and tell party that people have paid for, and then she just puts the little girl in charge of it, and then goes on an impromptu walk around the forest with her dad.
Deuces. See you, suckers.
Maybe she's? I will say maybe she's not as good as I would hope. But Butterfly, what do you call them? Butterfly
Butterfly expert.
agent. Butterfly
She's
agent.
to talk to my agent.
Got to talk to my butterfly agent. Yeah, there you go.
I would say, while The Butterfly Effect is a great movie and is beautiful in regards to wedding, what it does do in both cases that we get to see it is complicate things. Here's what I mean by this. They, at the first wedding, at the beginning of the movie, they pronounce them husband and wife. They kiss. Butterflies then go off. What they realize in that moment is that no one saw them kiss. And so they felt the need to kiss again.
Sure did.
So that they can get the applause. Took away from their big moment. Because everybody is suddenly looking up at the butterfly. So maybe not the best idea. At the very end, another wedding, another kiss, 1,501 butterfly. The bride at that point
You got
feels the
singular for
need.
butterfly.
Yeah.
1,501 butterfly.
There's no such thing as butterflies. It's always singular.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's like moose. Just can't meese
Got it. Yeah. I thought you were just talking about like maybe a
You can't plural
swimming
butterfly.
You can't
relay
plural
of some
butterfly.
sort.
You wouldn't. You couldn't. She feels the need after the biggest moment of her life to explain that there's 1,501 butterfly, which just ruins the vibe. I would say
She does that. Doesn't she do it instead of kissing him? Does she kiss briefly and then go, ladies and gentlemen?
I think it's a quick kiss to an announcement.
Yeah.
That it is beautiful, but I don't think people have thought through that maybe do it at a different part of the ceremony, but not at the kiss. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It really just threw a vibe. Through the vibes.
Through the vibes.
Through the vibes. At one point, she says that Mandy is only in the butterfly business for the money. And I don't think that's a thing. So at one point, he's good with his hands, sees her, hammers his thumb with the hammer. They call it quits for the day. They go back to her place, I believe, and she goes to hand him a cup of tea or coffee or something. And somehow how could you grab a cup in a way that would hurt the thumb?
I mean, like this.
If you grip it that way.
You think so? If you grip,
Or if you grip it this way.
Yeah. Are you? Yeah. Here around.
Grip it, yeah,
you think so? But at that point, it's just a cup, right?
But if it's
you're
just
using your
pressure,
thumb.
if you're putting pressure on your thumb, it hurts.
But what if it's
Yeah, if you grabbed it like a Neanderthal, then yeah, maybe it wouldn't.
I think that would still hurt. You're
okay.
knuckling it.
Guys, listen.
The only way it wouldn't would be to do this. No, even that pushes down here a little bit.
No, you got to do this.
Ooh, what about this? I got it like this. See? Now it's not hurting.
Now it's not hurting.
Smooth as silk.
And I would request that you guys do that the rest of the episode. If
My
you guys
drink's
don't
gone,
mind.
so that'll be easy.
Then that one's not anything. Dan?
Early on in the movie, Kevin McGarry's explaining that his dad's a big-time business boy and wants him to take over the business. And clearly he has a lot of money, which is weird that they have this whole conversation. But he's talking about how like he likes to fix things. He didn't really like being in office. And then he says, I don't want to work on a ledger all day, if you know what I mean. Yeah, we all got it. We got it, Kev. Yeah, we get it. You don't want to work on I don't know why you need to say, if you know what I mean. I think we're all in agreement here that you've explained it enough for all of us.
You clearly don't know what he means.
I don't. Can we talk about the guy who is the caddy / boyfriend / fiance of this socialite?
Yes.
Who's on the 18th green with her in shorts, dress shoes with a golf bag and doesn't know what a putter is? What's going on in that scene? Is that an attempt for comic relief? Is that what that's supposed to be?
Yes.
Because I think if they were going for that, they should have done something that was funny. They just kind of threw something together because they had the rights to use a golf course, I guess. At the end of this movie, he shows up to say goodbye because he's leaving for New York, and he has traded in his fancy Mazda SUV. He sold it for a fancy Mazda sedan.
Well, you can't go wrong with the Mazda.
But
Zoom, zoom.
why did he do that?
Because
He says, I had to sell the SUV. Saying that implies that either financially he's in a tough spot, which we all know he's not, or is there some sort of SUV regulation in New York City that I'm unaware of?
I think he was just selling it in order to move, right? Like he just didn't need it anymore.
They literally have pretty much the same size cargo space. It's not a tiny little Mazda. It's a mid-size SUV.
But the
a
car that
sedan.
came to pick there was a car that came and picked him up.
No, he's driving.
no.
He's driving. He gets in
he
the front
says he
seat.
goes, we called a car.
He gets in the
Well,
front
then
seat and drives.
that's what the Hallmark then, because he says the car is here.
Well, he gets in the car and just goes. He
Right,
didn't get in the
but-
back seat. He gets in the car like he owns it and he drives off.
It could have been an Enterprise rent-a-car.
They'll pick you up.
Yeah, but then
no one does that in the whole movie. No one comes and like the car is there and he's like, I'm getting in and I'm driving it.
Does that really
But there
happen?
was a
He
car- there was
drives?
a car-
Yes.
I'm going to take that to the table.
Yeah,
real
why don't
quick.
you
Please
take that
do.
one
If
to
I'm
the
wrong,
tape,
I'll let you
please.
know. I got no problem doing that.
I'll let you know. 'Cause
Can we talk about this wedding? This is a socialite's wedding. Like I'm thinking like Paris Hilton in my head.
Yeah.
There's like 8 people there. And there's 1,500 and some butterflies. And then Kevin McGarry and his daughter just crashed the wedding. Like no one's doing any security.
Right.
Supposedly it's going to be on the cover of magazines. And people can just wander in.
It's not great.
It's not great. And then lastly, I'm going to save that for What the Hallmark, because my last one is a legitimate question that I'm going to save for What the Hallmark.
I'll allow it.
Thank you.
It's time for What the Hallmark, where we talk about the things that we still want to know about. Questions, if you will. Panda?
Guys, I have a theory. That
Theory alert.
that there is some bad blood between neighbors. At the very beginning of this movie, there are 2 rival butterfly.
He does drive
parties.
the car.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's not
terrible.
great.
That's tough.
It's
That's
bad.
Because he literally says
Right before
the
that.
car is here.
It's almost like it's
Hey
a
guys,
bad
the car
movie.
is here.
It's almost
That's
like
what he even holds up his phone.
Yep, he says the car's here.
it's
and then
almost
he
like
drives
it's a
off.
bad movie.
No,
That
could happen in any movie.
one mistake doesn't.
So at the very beginning of this movie, there's a butterfly party. There's 2 rival parties that have been booked
Next door to each
next
other.
door to each other,
right.
which I find a little improbable.
The odds there.
But as I was pondering about that, it made me think, why wouldn't the 2 houses just get together and hold one big butterfly party, which is what you would assume.
You would think so.
But the fact that the kids are roughly the same age as well, you would assume they're probably friends. It seems like it would check out. It makes me think that maybe that family had some bad blood.
Maybe the one didn't invite the other one to the birthday, and so they're like, we'll just have our own butterfly thing.
Which makes you wonder why.
Ooh.
And that's why I want to know.
Yeah, bad blood.
What happened
I like
where
it.
somebody
I
was
like
not
it.
invited to the butterfly party and had to hold a rival butterfly party? Because because I'm all about that tea.
All about that tea.
About that tea.
It's all about the zoom, Dan, is what I think we've
zoom.
gotten to. You have to downsize to zoom a little bit zoomier. You know what I mean? So Mandy, she is attacked during this movie. And not with validity, I believe, because she is very clearly into butterflies. Here's why I know this. She, the girl, Emily, makes it known that she doesn't just do butterfly parties. She does dog parties, cat parties, etc. Do you ever see Mandy in any other garb aside from butterfly related? The answer to that question is no. So clearly, butterfly is her main sauce, if you will. It's not puppies, it's not kitties. She clearly loves butterflies.
Yes.
Because of the garb. So I want to know what happened initially to cause this type of idea in Emily's mind that she doesn't actually care about butterflies. Because I just don't think it's right, first of all. If a woman with many different tracks of her business clearly has a favorite, and that favorite is butterfly. But also, I want to know, since they have had such a long history of butting heads, rival parties, etc., how does their new venture go on? Because they are going to continue this in the future.
Yeah. My question is, we see them release butterflies at several events, and it is as clunky and awkward as if the three of us were told we had to do it today.
Right.
We have to figure out how to get these butterflies in and release them at a wedding. They hide behind a bush, sort of, and they're unzipping what looks like the tents that I would take for my little kids to sleep in. And they're shaking the... Is this, if you get butterflies released at a wedding...
They look like portable hampers.
Is this the process that actually happens? Are people hiding behind where you're looking at the wedding and then unzipping awkwardly and shaking?
So I have a weird story about this.
I'd love to hear it.
So a few years ago, I had a friend that passed away suddenly in an accident. And so a year after that, to memorialize him, his wife got butterflies shipped in so that we would all release at the same time.
Couldn't get local butterflies, huh?
It was like an order company where they come frozen, like almost like in a state, like a sedated state. They are out of it.
Frozen or sedated?
I don't know. They are kept in a low temperature in order to keep them not like
from hatching or whatever.
Yeah, I guess. I don't even know. So what you end up having to do, you have to get them out early so that they kind of can have some time to wake up, so that when you open
what do you mean
up,
get them out early?
you have to
like play Reveille or something. Like a
you have to I think you had to like
Good morning, campers! Who's ready to fly away today?
Yeah.
So you get them out
just
early.
that. You gotta get them out early so that they can wake up. They have some time to like wake up, or else this is what happens when you try to like get them out of their, like they come in these like little containers, these little packages almost that you have to
How
open.
big? Like, are we talking?
It's
like
almost like an
Altoids?
envelope. Like it's an envelope.
But
and so you
so
open
do
it
they
up.
all? Did you put the cat or whatever all into one spot so they can all become
You
butterflies?
open them each individually, and then they would come on out, and then they would hopefully flap away and fly away. But a lot of them were still kind of sedated, so they would tip out and they'd fall to the ground. So you had to make sure not to, step
This
on them.
sounds like animal abuse. And this doesn't sound like a grand gesture. It sounds like one drunk butterfly at a time flapping their way to death.
Right, which is why you try to wake them up so that they all jump out early. But some of them like to.
Butterflies only live like 2 to 3 weeks, guys. That's
right.
it.
No. These weren't going to last a long time.
And it did make me think there's no way that she got them to all become butterflies on the exact same day. And so how many of these 1,500 is she actually stopping from doing their job on the planet to release them?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Because some of them are just going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is a wild story.
I can't quite visualize any of what you're talking about.
No, that's fair.
Well, to
such
plug,
as a frozen sedation.
Yeah,
to
They're like in these little packages.
to getting them out early. Still don't quite know what that means.
So that they de-thaw from. They
But what do you
warm
mean
up.
get them
De-thaw?
out?
To warm
are they
them up.
are they in the pack?
Are they
They're in the
Austin
packet.
Powers?
though.
So they're
What is happening?
My understanding is that they were shipped in like a temperature controlled packet or box or something like that. And so that you had to get them out. And so that
Is
there
it like
was
the
time to warm up.
Domino's
Yeah,
thing?
exactly.
Yeah.
Except,
Where you keep the pizzas hot.
Right, exactly.
But opposite.
Yeah, for butterflies.
the
you want them
butterflies
to be a little,
cold.
like a little chilly, so
Little
that
chilly.
when they come out of that, then they can fly.
The someone in our double-decker chat said that is the process. At a wedding, each individual person holds a box that's handed to a guest on the way in. And so at the time that is announced, they open it up and the butterflies all flap away.
Yeah.
That's what
You got
happens.
to get them out early, though.
You got to get them
That's
out
the
early.
key.
You got to warm them up.
And about 1 out of every 3 boxes, the butterfly is dead.
That is also accurate. I
This-
think one of my friends had a dead
This
butterfly.
shouldn't be allowed to be, call me crazy, this shouldn't be allowed to be a business that exists. And we made it a fun, happy, go fun time. I think this is awful. It's terrible.
Well, maybe they figured out a way. Maybe that's why they don't do it that way. We can have more control. We can put them in. We can put them in the hamper.
It, how do you guarantee all those butterflies to get out of that
shake
thing?
it.
They shake it.
They're going like this. Get out. Get.
Yeah.
I got you out early.
Get them out.
We did, everybody. Congratulations. It's time for the Double Decker of the Week. It's part of the show where Painted does the deep dive into somebody who has signed up for BramblejamPlus.com. That can be you as well. It's not too late. It's never too late. Dan, who do we have today?
Tia King.
Tia King.
Tia King. Oh, man, she's the king. Am I right? She just crushes it. Let me tell you, she has started a brand new company, and it's taken a long time to build this company up, you know, to get everything situated.
Get that drunk butterfly off the ground, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So she's been working on this for a while, but the company's just about to launch?
Well, it's launched now.
Okay,
It
it's
just launched, but it's
hard or soft
Oh,
launch?
hard launch, and let me tell you, everyone has been all in. People are lining up. She trains people and licenses them to become koala bear trainers, and she also trains the koala bears as well.
Great.
What's
the name of the company, Panda?
Qualifications.
Sure.
Okay. So, is there any other meaning there, or you just make koala sound like koala?
Qualifications, Dan.
But there's nothing in the fications that has.
Oh no,
another-
she gives them qualifications as well to become koala bear trainers. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, I know. I think it's very self-explanatory.
It's great.
I don't know where we go from here.
well-
I don't have any questions.
You don't have about any of the training of the koala bears or anything like that?
Sure. What is it?
What is
Oh,
it?
they
What-
dance.
Okay.
They dance
They can do a dance
if they want to.
if they want to.
They leave their friends behind.
No, they wouldn't. Not
What
koala
if their
bears.
friends don't dance?
Well, if they don't dance, they're no friends of mine.
That's fair.
Personally,
That's fair.
that's
That's
just
fair.
me.
Yeah.
All right. Great.
Good job, Tia.
Great job, Tia. Qualifications coming to a city near you.
No, it's actually not.
It's not?
No, there's been some legal problems.
What way?
Well, some people aren't real fans of the training of the koala.
You just said everybody's a big fan and they're lining up. You said those words.
They are locally.
Training's not of the highest quality.
Hey,
So you're saying locally people love it, but nationally there's pushback?
there's some national qualification pushback,
Yeah.
Great.
As you can imagine.
as you might have.
Does anybody have a hashtag for it?
Quantity, not quality.
That's not bad. We'll be back tomorrow with another
You know
one.
that was
Until
good.
then,
You
maybe
know
the
that was
first
good.
to wish you a
Merry Christmas! Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast. It's presented by Philo TV. It's produced by Brandon Gray and recorded live in, Greenville, South Carolina. Set decor is by Plum at Haywood Mall. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on Bramble Jam Podcast Network, you can go to bramblejampodcast.com.